sports for a time has been at the center of a lot of like political strife. How much of that was the players, or how much of it? I would always feel bad for like people who do not want to be political or who are not
Yeah.
experts, that journalists put cameras in their face and they're like, comment on X, on Israel, whatever, and they're like,
Yeah.
this is not the lane I'm in. How much of it was driven by journalists
Oh,
forcing people into those places?
so much by journalists. That's my perspective on it. This is a bit of a subjective. I can't give you a percentage. I can't let you know for sure. Nobody knows, but it's what I observed. As an example, an object example, Steph Curry taking off as a superstar around 2016, 2017. People know he's very religious, and the bathroom bill in North Carolina, where he's from, becomes a thing. Now,
Mhm.
I'm no expert on the bathroom bill. That's how it was known colloquially. As you well know, any state law has all these weird nooks and crannies. And
Mhm.
I remember reading about it and trying to read up on it to understand it and going, I'm not completely sure all the contours of what this does, but it becomes this big controversy. And journalists are asking Steph, and I'm just on the road at all these games in the locker room, and I'm just watching them try to get his position on it and get him to come out against the bill and just beat on him and beat on him and beat on him. And being around Steph, good guy. I wouldn't say that he's somebody who was just reading position papers in depth. I wouldn't say that that was how his mind worked. I would say that he's math smart. He likes that he's born on Pi Day. He's not tremendously invested in politics, even if he did via video, whatever, speak at the recent Democratic National Convention. But back then, there was no political valence at all. And it was just pressure, 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 pressure until finally the desired result. Finally, I think he said something that would indicate that he was against it. Forgive me if I'm getting it wrong, but I just saw that dynamic in person where the journalists desperately want the athletes to mirror their own views back to themselves. And I think that there are a few reasons for that. One is a logical reason, which is that if you're an activist, athletes are cool. They're powerful mimetic
Mhm.
models. If they start doing something, other people think it's a good idea. So there's a logic of activism to it, but then there's just this weird narcissism to a lot of people where they've got a parasocial relationship with the athlete. They like and admire the athlete. They watch them on TV. They feel like they know the athlete. Even without knowing they're doing it, they almost tell themselves a story about the athlete as though the athlete is like somebody that they went to college with and dorm with and has their values. And if the athletes are saying things that don't align, then there's this discomfort and this anger and almost bullying to sort of be the person I want you to be.